Well, now, autism, Asperger's syndrome in life. I'd like to say that my life has been an interesting one, but has been a very difficult life to live. You see, I grew up not knowing that I had autism, but I was the kid that everybody mocked. I was the kid that was strange. I was the kid that was spat upon by other children. I was the kid that wasn't able to reach out to other people. And I'll tell you what my world was like. They put me in a special school, and I was in that school for 3 years as a child. And I was separated from all the other kids because I couldn't make friends with them. I couldn't understand them. Sometimes they would say shh to me because I would say things or do things that I didn't understand. And sometimes they would say things and I would be completely out of the loop. I didn't understand what they're saying because I took things literally. That means if somebody said something like "you have a frog in your throat," I'd be like, "Where?" Um, and so there were some things that went over my head, and a lot of times because I couldn't understand how to fit in socially, even eye contact, I felt like I was strangely out of the loop, and all the other kids were laughing at me to a certain degree, but not so much that as much as I just didn't get along. After I was in this special school, um, I came out of this special school and went back into regular school, but I never fit in with everybody, and um, and I never made any friends. And I was in this class that was special education. Now this was for people who had learning problems, and I do have some learning problems, but I felt like this is rather stupid. I'm not an idiot. Why am I in the idiot class? And the problem is that once you're put into this class, you've got this label that you're an idiot or you're one of those. And I was a misfit amongst other misfits that were in their own world, and I couldn't even talk to those misfits. But these people didn't fit in it too, and many of them, some of them probably had Asperger's syndrome, like I have. Who knows what it was? But they were they were picked on by the pecking order, and yet they didn't seem to be dumb people either. And some of the cruelest things happened to those kids, and my heart goes out to them. Although I was not so sociable, and in some ways I did dumb things too. But they grew up in a world that was unfriendly to them, and they were trying to fit in, and they were ridiculed and called all sorts of things, and that was hurtful. But the school system wasn't very helpful either. Here's here's an example of what happens. So I'm a person who's not social with other people, and they make me get dressed in a locker room with other people looking at me. I don't want to be dressing with other men, or I don't want to be around people naked. Just don't want. I don't shower with men. I don't want to be around naked people. People are like, "Oh, hi, I'm naked. How are you?" I don't care. I don't want to see this, and I don't want other people seeing me. But then, so they have a dance. Oh, somebody must have thought that this would be a wonderful idea to get all the kids to learn about love, sexual education, whatever it is. So they had a dance at gym class, right? And everybody's in there like gym clothes. We're dressed for gym. I don't know. Maybe we were just dressed in our regular clothes, but I wasn't expecting some dance. Nobody was dressed for this. I don't know what we were probably dressed in our regular clothes. This was a long time ago. I mean, this was childhood, but here, I don't know. It might have been dressed in their gym clothes. So here we are, and they put music on, and they have bleachers on one side, on the other side of this gym, and the boys are on one side, and the girls are on the other side. And our job is to be able to reach out of yourself and go ask a girl to dance with you. First of all, I never had any dance lessons. You know. Second of all, I'm scared to death. And the poor girls on the other side are sitting there not being picked. Some of them, when they were more outgoing, they actually asked the men, and there was social action happening. People were dancing, but there was a number of people that were on the bleachers that just could not bring themselves to ask somebody because they were shy. And without autism or Asperger's syndrome, there was no way. We just sat there and it was terrible. It was this chilling feeling as the music went on, as you looked over to the other side at girls that want you to ask them, and you want to ask them, or they want to ask you, and they just can't. This was this was cruel, and they didn't know. They didn't pick out the people who were shy and say, "Oh well, you know what, you're dismissed. You know, you can go." you know, or even help the whole situation. They were all having a good time watching the kids dance. This is some of the examples of the things that happened to me. You know, having going to school with this Asperger's syndrome. Never being able to ask a girl out. Now I'm married, thank God. I've got a wonderful wife now, but and that's not the scenario for most people with Asperger's. They don't hold relationships together, and believe me, ours has been rough because I have Asperger's syndrome. I wanted to relate these stories to show, that society, when you're antisocial, can be really cruel. And I think I'm going to add some more installments, maybe some more stories, because they really do tell of what it's like to grow up with something that, in a fog, not knowing that you have, and trying to be normal, and not being treated normal, and then not being normal and not knowing, or not knowing the reason why you're not normal. Thinking to yourself, why am I a geek? I don't understand. Why can't I get along with people? I'm smart, I'm intelligent, but I can't seem to be able to to get beyond people. And I'm learning how to do this more and more as time goes on. But there is definitely, you could say Asperger's syndrome is a label. Well, then it was an appropriate one. Take care.